Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, April 30th. It is currently 7:10 in the evening. It is time to get to work. I already got started here a little bit. I got a ride from downtown Sac to the airport, and now here I'm in the queue. I kicked a ride right after I dropped the lady off. I got a ride that was going from here to Folsom, and it's just not the right time to be heading back out to Folsom, so I punted on that. And it was a good ride. It was like $25. It's not bad, but just not the right time. I want to maximize my time here by doing shuttles to the grid and back. So that's the plan. In the meantime, it's going to be a short night for me. I'm not going to be, I think I'm be out here for maybe like 3 hours, so we'll see what we can do. Not expecting much as usual. But what I did want to do while I'm sitting here waiting, I got a question from a viewer regarding my opinion on this lawsuit that's currently being worked out between the state of California and Uber and Lyft. Essentially what happened was Uber and Lyft kind of got busted from, I think it's from like 2016 through 2020 or something like that. It's like a 5-year stretch for not paying drivers what they're owed. And this lawsuit, which is $1.5 billion, I think is what they're trying to negotiate a settlement for, is to give drivers back what they were due. Full disclosure, by extension, I am a party to this lawsuit because I drove back in 2016 and 2017, so I would be a beneficiary of whatever settlement comes out from this lawsuit. And quite frankly, I'm supportive of the lawsuit. The problem is that the rideshare companies, they kind of want their cake and eat it too, which is, basically what do I mean by that? They want to treat drivers as an employee, and in the sense that, they want to dictate how we operate, and, they want to measure our acceptance rates and their cancellation rates, and they want to force you to drive and accept rides that they want you to accept, basically work on their terms. But they don't want to have the liability of having employees on their balance sheet because that's a huge cost to them. So that's why we're independent contractors, because they don't have to pay unemployment benefits and pay for insurance and other things that you would normally do with an employee taxes. So they don't want to do that, so they make you an independent contractor so they can avoid that. But, they want to treat you like an employee by the way that they dictate how you drive. So, the rideshare companies pushed through Prop 22 to basically solidify that we are independent contractors and not employees, to kind of protect themselves. But the reality is that rideshare companies, in my view, are kind of like a stock exchange, in the sense that they create a market for buyers and sellers. The riders are the buyers, the drivers are the sellers, and the rideshare companies act as a middle person to create the market where we can have a transaction between buyers and sellers. The problem is that in a stock exchange, the market maker, the person in the middle, doesn't dictate price. All they do is facilitate a transaction. Rideshare companies, as the middleman, they control price, they control payout, and they control every aspect of it, so they have that control over the drivers to be able to dictate what's going on. And again, I think that part of the problem with the rideshare companies is they want to treat us like employees but pay us like independent contractors, and you can't have both. You have to allow drivers to be able to be independent and select and choose the rides that we want, and run this as a business, because it is a business for us. If you're not treating it like a business, you should be, because that's how you're going to make money. And right now, whatever happens with this settlement, I'm all for it, because they shouldn't be skimming off the top or holding back wages to the drivers for whatever reason, right? They should be upfront with what they're paying, how they're paying, and doing everything that they're supposed to be up on the up and up with us. And I tried to look through the lawsuit a little bit to get a little bit more information, but essentially it's just about them withholding wages from drivers, payouts from drivers, and not paying what they were actually owed and getting caught. I mean, it's been known, and if you watch other YouTube channels, Jeff Watts, the rideshare professor, I mean, they talk about it all the time. They talk about it all the time that they're skimming, they're withholding tips, they're doing all this stuff. There's not a lot of proof in what they say, except for the fact that this lawsuit, right now, it doesn't sound like they're admitting guilt. They're trying to settle it without admitting guilt, which to me is the biggest crime in this whole thing. I think it's great that we may get, the drivers at that time are going to get some money out of them. But what I would think would be better is if they actually admitted guilt to doing what's the accusation, which I think would be much, much better. Because that's what they're trying to avoid, because they're going to continue to do it. They're just going to figure out some other way to do it so they don't get caught. Is there proof? Do I have proof? No. I have none. I accept rides, I do rides. I have no idea. Now I have questions about somehow how they price some of these rides, because I've showed where I've done identical rides for the same distance and same amount of time, and there's a big discrepancy in how the driver pays. Sometimes $3 or $4 between two rides that are almost identical, and that I don't understand. So anyway, I hope that answers your question to the person that asked the question. And if you have any comments about this or have any input, please leave a comment down below, and we can have a discussion about it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go get Kamiya here and get busy and get another ride under my belt. So I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, I'll be back. All right, quick update. So far so good. 3 rides in. Just kind of getting in and getting out. Let's see, what time did I start? Like 7 something. So I'm an hour and a half in and 3 rides in. So been doing okay. Been getting in, dropping someone off, coming right back, getting a ride, just kind of back and forth. I think the last time I was here picking up my last ride, I think I was waited, maybe a minute. So it was pretty quick. So it's been going pretty good right now. I've got really about an hour left, hour and a half left of drive time before I'm going to call it. So we'll see how this plays out. If I can crank out like 2, maybe 3 more rides in that time frame, I'll be pretty happy with that. But like I said, this is a pretty short night, quick little turnaround. It's been hard with my new job. It's been really difficult getting out to drive because just the time demands on my new position right now are much more than what they were with my previous position. So, these little short nights, part-time, just, 3 or 4 hours is really what I can do right now. Although I am going to be driving Friday night, and then Friday night, I have to drop my wife off here at the airport, and then as soon as I do that, I'm going to get on the clock, and then I'll just grind it out till late, and see what happens. Not much going on until, actually no, there's a concert going on Friday night at Golden One, so that should help out. And then, yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. But as far as tonight is concerned, hour and a half left, and then we'll just have to make the most out of that. So I'll be back here. Probably the next update that I'll give will be from the garage, and I'll wrap up of the night. So I'll see you then. All right, I'll be back. Alrighty, that's a wrap. Back in the garage. Short and sweet. 3 hours. Let's see. After the last update, I did 1 ride back into town. I was kind of iffy if I was going to be able to get back out to the queue and be done when I wanted to be done. So I ended up taking a ride that kind of took me towards home, and here we are. So that's how the night ended. So first of all, let's turn this off. Update. Let's go turn Lyft off. Did one ride with Lyft. That was the last ride of the night. Yeah, it was. I wasn't getting much. I mean, Lyft was giving me like little shorties, everything, small stuff, and I was rejecting all that stuff. I wasn't even just not even interested. On these nights where I know I'm going to be out for a very short period of time, I'm trying to keep the dollar value of the rides up as much as possible, like $10 or more, just so I can maximize my time by being out, because I know I'm only going to be out for a short period of time. And right now, using the airport queue, which is a huge change for me, has been working out pretty well, mainly because I can kind of cherry pick rides out of there that most people don't want to do, but I can just go back into the grid, come right back out. And it's been working out pretty well. But overall, high dollar per mile rides is really what I want. And if I'm going to be out for an extended period of time, I'll probably, I'll focus more on that. Probably even like Friday night coming up here. So anyway, one for $8.15 on Lyft. Let's go look at Uber. There you go, $60. Let me get out of the way. 4 for $60, not bad. So 5 for $68. I'll take that. That's a solid $12 average or so. I'll put the numbers up, and that's not bad for 3 hours of work. I'll take it. It could be more, but again, not bad. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Please leave a comment down below regarding your opinion on that lawsuit that I talked about earlier on. If you're a California driver, are you going to get any money out of that if you drove back then? I'd be curious to see if there's any old timers on here that possibly would get some money out of that. Like I said, I will, because I did drive back when the period that it's covering. I was a driver back then. That's like when I first started. So we'll see what happens. Of course, if whatever comes out of that, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, if you made it this far, I know this is a short video too, probably. Please leave a like and a comment down below. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks to all the new subscribers. It's kind of grown a little bit over here the last couple weeks, and I appreciate that. So yeah, thanks much. I'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks.